Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Zay's Garage here for another one. So, if you're tuning into this video, it's because you probably want an update on my life and the new car that I have now for the channel and what I'm about to start using to make content for the foreseeable future. But before we get to that part, we have to first address what has been happening for the past, I don't know, was it 8 to 9 months now? So as you guys remember, I sold my 340 back in September. I told you guys that I was like, you know, car stuff is great, I love it, you know. However, I needed to take a little bit more financial responsibility and spend some time, excuse me while I sit down, spend some time paying off debt, cutting back, you know, saving a little bit, and then after that I would feel better about, you know, making videos about cars and doing this kind of business. You know, someday this, you know, YouTube channel will pay off more than I can ever imagine. I feel like if I keep working hard and I keep grinding, eventually YouTube will pay for car stuff and I'll be able to have multiple cars for YouTube if I keep hustling. But at that time I had to make a decision for myself, and over those 6 months, it wasn't fun. I'll be honest with you. You can ask my girlfriend. She can definitely tell you that I was a bit of a grump to be around for those past 8 to 9 months because I wasn't doing what I was passionate about. I sold my 340 and then I ended up with a few cars in between. So I ended up with a 2000 S2000, Honda S2000. I drove that for about 2 weeks and then I realized I was too big for it. Like look at me, I'm like, no, I'm not fitting in an S2000. Eventually I thought, you know what if I continue to make content for you guys but just did it in a little cheaper way? So I bought a BMW 335i, 2000, I believe it was a 2008 or 2007. It had the N54 engine. I had that for like 2 months and I was like, take it back, I don't want it anymore. I had that car, it ran fine. It was a full bolt-on. It wasn't too bad. I think I have some pictures here. If I don't, I'm sorry. It was a full bolt-on. It was stage 2 and I drove it around for 2 months before it finally gave me trouble. And it gave me trouble when the N54s have a really big problem with the front crank gasket. I forgot what it is called exactly. But the serpentine belt is so close to the radiator that oftentimes it'll get an oil, you know, it leaks. It's a BMW, so it leaks a lot of oil. So oil and all these other things will kind of make the serpentine belt slippery, and it's so tightly compacted in there that the serpentine belt will slip up off of the hub and will get sucked in to, I believe it gets sucked into one of the front gaskets in the engine, and when it gets sucked into that gasket, the timing chain rips it up, shreds it up, and it gets dropped. And ultimately, you'll see bits and pieces of it into the oil pan, and that is exactly what happened to me. And if you let that happen, you let those bits get sucked up into the oil pan, it'll get sucked up into some sort of like engine ingest tube. I forgot all the terminology because I put the N54 far behind me, but those shreds get sucked up into the engine and then you just have a catastrophic nightmare. And that happened to me and I had to get it fixed. It cost me about $2,000, and after that happened I said, you know what, I'm not gonna let this engine take any more money out of my pocket. The B58 and beyond, that is what it's all about. After driving one of those things are just a plague. I sold it to a guy and within 2 to 3 weeks it actually blew up on him. So I really dodged a bullet with that one, but I said, you know what, forget that. So I was like, you know what, why don't I be a responsible adult and get a more practical daily car? So I went and I got me a 2020 Chevy Equinox. I just leased it, and the nice thing about GM leases is that, you know, you can transfer them off when you're done with it because they allow lease transfer. So once I was done driving it, you know, I could transfer it off. to a new owner and be clean of it. So I drove that car from about the end of November until the end of April. And in that time, I was just cutting back. I wasn't really, you guys haven't seen me. I wasn't making content, and I was really just buttoning down, focusing, paying debt, just being financially responsible. And over that course of that month, those 8 to 9 months, I paid off, probably $20,000 to $25,000, and it left me with pretty much little to no debt left. And I'm really, really happy that I was able to do it. It was something that needed to be done. Like, I truthfully feel so much more better about my financial situation, and I feel like I am more poised to do something with cars now. Yeah, it's definitely been a journey through and through. It's definitely not been easy, not being able to make content for you guys and not continuing to push the channel, push the brand, because we had a lot of momentum coming out of summer of 2020. Even though it was a pandemic, the channel was hot. The B58 content was rolling. The content was hot. Everything was going really, really well. But sometimes in life you have to choose yourself. You have to choose your financial situations. You have to choose the people that are gonna come after you, and I'm glad I did. I feel like I'm in a much better position to, own a car now that is a little bit more expensive than normal, So with that, I guess I have to give you a little bit update on the car search. So I sold my 340, and on my channel I've done a lot of posting. I told you guys that I was going to maybe get another 340. I was going to continue building on the B58 because I love the platform. It's such a great platform. But if you drive a car, oftentimes you'll want something different. The 340 is a great platform and a great car, but it's something I've done. It feels like something I've already experienced, and it's like, why should I go back and get the same car? We only live once. Why I should go and I should experience something new? And that's exactly what I did. I abandoned my idea of 340, so I considered M240s. They're based on the same B58 platform, and they're based on the 2 Series platform, the the F22. But that car is very similar to the 340. I know people say that is a little bit more performance based because of the shorter wheelbase and all those other things alike. But I just couldn't just get it was really the fact that it was the same engine. It was basically the same platform and drivetrain. So I considered that. I considered an F10 M5 because they're really a bargain in the used car market now. Almost 600 horsepower V8 engine, twin turbo, just an absolute beast. However, those things the engine in those, I believe, I'm not sure exactly which engine is in the M5s. I think it's the S60, no, not the S62, but whatever engine is in M5. I've heard that they have some pretty bad reliability issues. I saw way too many YouTube videos with people blowing up their F10 M5s because that hot V design in their engine just was a little bit ahead of its time, and it needed a little bit more tweaking. And from a reliability standpoint, no, I don't want that to blow up on me. They're not as good as some of the newer BMW engines. I considered that the M6 of that generation, the same with the F10, but because of the engine, I was just like, nope, I'm not. I'll take a pass on that. I also considered some other brands. I considered going for a C63, but there's something about Mercedes-Benz that are just a little bit too flashy and too poser for me, and I'm just like, nope, I'd rather not do that. I love the community that some of the other car makers have. I considered a GTR, 2-door supercar that's pretty reasonably priced. That was a good. That was good, but I just didn't like it. You know, I just felt like I wasn't ready to go up to a GTR or anything like that. It's just a little bit too much for me, and plus they're more expensive than I would like to be paying. I mean, I explored so many different options. The ATS-V, the CTS-V, there was a Corvette, but I had to ask myself these questions. I'm like, you know, at heart, you know, I am a BMW fan, and ever since I started making 340 content, this has become basically a BMW channel, and a lot of you guys on here love BMWs. And then it brought me back to, well, I could get another 340, continue making content for you guys, but I didn't want another 340. And all the other BMW options were either too expensive. The new F90 M5 is way too expensive. You know, the G80 is way too expensive. They're not really reasonably priced. You know, I also had to think about this from a, you know, kind of a content business perspective. What kind of car is going to do well on YouTube, on Instagram, on social media? What's going to help me be able to, you know, connect with, you know, and build partnerships with different companies? And you know, when you're looking into BMW's lineup, there's only a few cars that fit that criteria, and I ultimately had to go with one that I felt I truly wanted, I truly in my heart desired, and I felt it was going to be a good decision as we continue to grow this channel. You know, so wow, I feel like I've almost spilled the beans here, guys. I'll tell you something. The car is here. I have already bought it. I was going to do a huge reveal video about it, where when I went to go buy it and I went to go pick it up, but I dropped the ball for you guys. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, but this is why I'm making this video, so that I can show you what we're gonna be working with, and we can continue moving the ball here on Zay's Garage. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and show you guys what we are now working with here on. Some of you guys may not be surprised, others may be, but hey guys, let's do this. Let's reveal it. You guys are looking at my new to me 2018 BMW M3 competition. I bought this car in Orlando, Florida. I drove it all the way up from Orlando. I wish if I could go back in time, truthfully, I would have got it shipped so I could have saved the miles. But yes, 2018 comp package, individual azurite black, 34,000 miles. It was a one owner, no accidents, completely clean M3, and it's fully loaded. So we're talking with the individual color, we have full leather. I'll show you guys. You have the full leather interior here, the extended leather, so you can see the like stitching, and also what was sweet about this car in particular was that it came with the factory. I'll show you guys. It came here with the factory M Performance package, which is insane because it gives you, you know, I'll let you see in here, it gives you all these carbon fiber bits, the shifter, the trim, everything in here is trimmed in carbon fiber. I get a carbon fiber wing here and carbon fiber tips, which come from the M Performance exhaust that it comes standard with, which is absolutely insane that it comes with all these goodies like right out of the box. And then also I have these carbon front splitters, which are so dope. It did have a lip, but I do believe the previous owner ripped it off somehow, so I'm gonna have to replace that. But yes guys, F80 M3. That is now the star of this channel. This is what we will be working with. This is everything. This is my daily now. I am planning to get a second car eventually, so that I don't have to put as many miles on this thing. But guys, I have huge plans for this thing. It's bone stock right now. I haven't done anything. The only thing that I have on it currently now is a dash cam, which was sponsored by Thinkware. They're a really great team. My next video after this one will be a Thinkware dash cam review. You guys should totally check it out. Guys, I'm not gonna go too much longer because I know I've already been talking for almost 20 minutes now. But guys, following videos, we're gonna talk about the plans. We're gonna talk about, you know, what kind of content we're gonna be making. Guys, it's gonna be an action-packed summer, and I am not going anywhere after this, guys. I'm super excited to continue to make content with you guys, and take you guys on my journey. We're gonna grow this thing, we're gonna build this thing, and we're gonna have fun, guys.